Hey everybody, it's FIFA 11 Skills Fan here, or Leechimane, and I just want to say thank you for all the support on the last video. It sparked a lot of questions and it sparked a lot of people to do some videos on it. I didn't think it would be that good when I did it, but I'm happy about it and I thank God for that as well. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's a video I did on a question: what would you change if you could go back in the past? And if you haven't seen that video, stop this video right now and go back and see that video and then come back to this video. The link for that video will be the first one in the description and there will be an annotation on the screen. Alright, so to answer this question, what would you change if you could go back in the past? You would change anything. I came up with two different parts to my answer. For the first part, it was the usual response. It was the same response I saw in the comments. It was the same response I thought of when I thought up the question. And basically it was, I wouldn't, because I am who I am today because of what I've been through. And then the second part was sparked by my homie Who Dat Geek. His link will be in the description below, and it's because of a comment he made on that video, and that sparked something inside of me, and then that made me come up with another answer to this. So it's not as simple as I thought it would be, and it's a little bit more complicated that you may like, and it might cut deep. I don't know. And if it does, please just stick with me and go through with it. Alright, so I'm going to start with a quote I found. You're going to see a picture of it on the screen. It says, "The past is an experience, the present is an experiment, the future an expectation. Let your experiences and experiments shape your expectations." Now, that's all good and great, but I have an addition to that. Do not let your experiences limit your expectations. Do not let your experiments limit your expectations. I'll go more into that later on. But the usual response I got when I read the comments was, I love my life. I don't really want to change anything in my life. The experience that I've been through shaped who I am today. And it's kind of the same thing you see in a lot of time traveling movies. They always say, don't touch anything when you go back in the past. You don't know what the future might change into and might become. They always say, don't touch anything. One little detail can change the entire face of humanity. It can change your entire life. We are who we are because of the experiences we've been through, because of the mistakes we've made, because of the lessons we've learned from those mistakes that we made. And also by the grace of God. It's not by our strength, but through Him and Him alone. But there was a book I read once. I read it in high school, I think 10th grade, and it's called Sound of Thunder. And it's about these hunters who go back in time and they hunt like dinosaurs and stuff like that. And so these guys go back to the past, and basically one of them steps off. They have these platforms built, and one of them steps off the platform and he kills a butterfly. Something so small, a butterfly. And it turns out that because he killed that butterfly, the president that was currently in place never existed, because that butterfly was meant to be eaten by another larger animal, and that animal was meant to be eaten by another larger animal, and then was meant to be eaten by one of the president's ancestors. So just by that little butterfly being crushed by the guy, everything changed. It wasn't the same way. There was a whole new future and a whole new generation created just because of that one butterfly. So using that example, I'd like to say to you, there are little things that we think, oh, you know what, it's so small that I would just want to change that when I go back in the past if I could. But in actuality, if you change that one little detail, you can become a whole new person. I saw a lot of that in the comments. A lot of people said, I am who I am because of the experiences I've been through, no matter how big or small. And that's correct, because no matter what experience you've been through, whether big, whether small, whether it was just meeting some person and saying hello, you might become a whole new person if you interfere with that. If you decide, I wish I could change that. And although it was such a small thing, we might think in our heads, we're like, okay, I just met somebody. If I didn't meet that person, it doesn't really matter. But it does. We might not think like that, but it really does. Now, for the second part of this, sparked by my friend Geek, one thing that I always hear when people want to talk about the past is I wish. I wish I did this. I wish I had more money. I wish I worked out this way, or whatever. No matter what it is, big or small. And one of the things, I found a quote by Les Brown, and he said, "The graveyard is the richest place on earth because it's where dreams and visions and stuff like that were never realized." So many people go through life and they do their things and They always say, I want to do this, but they end up not doing it. They end up just carrying it on and living with a regret because they decide they don't do it. They decide, I won't do it. I don't have time, or whatever it may be. So they go through life and missing out on what they could possibly do, what their real purpose could probably be. So I'd like to say to y'all, there's no time like the present. Choose to do those things that you may have been putting off in the past and saying, you know what, I don't have time, I don't have the energy to do all that, and do it today. There's no time like the present. Decide that you want to do something new. You want to change something. You want to begin something in your life. Whether it's as big as creating a new business or as small as just deciding to go work out. Do it. Don't live in regret. One of the saddest moments I've ever seen is in an old person when you see in their eyes and they start talking to you and they have this regret, this great regret of, if I did this in the past. It's one of the saddest looks they can ever give you because they're telling you, if only I could. You don't want your life to be the same way. You want to live it fully and completely. So you know what? No matter what, you just got to take that push. You just got to jump. You just got to take that leap of faith and decide, you know what? I'm going to do this thing. Don't worry about all the other little details. As you go with it, you conquer it. You learn from it. No matter what, it might be difficult today, but as you go through it, you learn more and more. And that's all it takes. It just takes for you to take one giant leap of faith, one giant step, or one small step. Or if your thing is to go work out and you always end up saying, you know what, I could work out, but I just don't have the time. That's just the biggest lie you can tell yourself. We make time for the things we want to do. You make time for the things that you decide, you know what, I want to do this, so I'm gonna do it. So you just have to decide, you know what, I'm gonna set this time apart to do it. Now in conclusion, remember, past is an experience, the present is an experiment, and the future is an expectation. But don't let your past and your present dictate how big your expectations can become. Don't let your experiences and your experiments dictate how large your expectations can be. Because the only one who can limit you is you. Best way to be able to do these things that you may have put off for so long is to write it down. Now, the 3 things that I have come up with that I need to start doing better or push myself more is to make better YouTube content for y'all, work out better, and to join a dojo and finally learn a form of martial arts. I've been saying I'll join a dojo since last summer and I never did it. So I need to do that. But that's about it, y'all. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comments below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it didn't cut too deep for y'all. And make sure to check out Geek and go blame him for me going this deep into this topic, because I didn't really think I would do this much of this. But God bless you. Have a great day. God bless you. And I'll talk to y'all real soon. Peace.